The world's greatest podcast in America, John Reed, Cody McClure. Cody, how is Texas, my friends?
Oh, it's hot down here, John. It's good to be here. Good to be anywhere. Notice I'm breaking out some glasses today. These are pretty goofy looking, aren't they? Now that I look at it. These were the glasses I had a couple years ago. The doctor told me my eyesight was going bad. And so I got these glasses, but then I sat on them. And so, see, this is the other end of and I tried to tape it onto the frame, but now I can't wear them because they're missing a leg. Is that what you call that on glasses? A leg? I mean, I guess they would stay on my head, but you look goofy walking around with only one leg on the glasses. So I don't wear these anymore. I just walk around with poor vision now.
That's really funny that had you asked me prior to this conversation what you call the folding things on glasses, I don't know if I would have had an answer.
I don't have an answer either. I just went with leg.
I've been around for 34 years, and I don't know something as simple as what we call that.
Do these look stupid? I think maybe just part of the frame.
Yeah.
This would be the frame, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they look stupid because they're lopsided, because they're raising up on one side because the other side's broken. So, they look stupid because of that. But
if I actually wore them, though, could I pull off glasses?
Yeah, I think so. You'd probably
glasses. Get more. Glasses are tricky because you toe a fine line between nerd, pedo, there's a certain way you can wear them where you do look good, you do look cool, but otherwise you look like kind of a super educated liberal, kind of an asshole, or kind of a weirdo, So I don't know. I don't know if I can pull them off or not. I kind of look like I'm wearing a disguise when I put them on.
Were you trying to list bad things that you would look like with glasses on, and you ranked nerd worse than pedo? Did I read into that correctly?
Well, I was just trying to think of, you just, it's hard not to look weird wearing them unless that's your thing, unless you do wear them, or maybe you've always worn them. Also, I think they look better on skinnier guys, I think a skinny guy looks better wearing glasses. You never see really a overweight type of fella that looks as good with the glasses, I don't think. But maybe that's just my opinion.
I would say most things skinny people look better than big people in, just to be fair.
There's got to be some exceptions to the rule.
Sure. Body bags.
Yeah, caskets. What's something that big people look better in than skinny people?
Wheelchairs.
How about in an SUV? Yeah, like a
scooters,
Chevy Tahoe.
The mobilized scooters that you ride around grocery stores in.
How about an Escalade? When I picture an Escalade driver, I picture a 350-pound black dude. Skinny white guy.
I could see a 350-pound white guy driving one too.
Sure, but I just picture a black dude. That's just my mental image. But you don't picture a skinny guy with glasses driving an Escalade for sure.
You don't.
So there's one. By the way, a little listener feedback from a previous podcast episode. I wanted to get this out there. Wes, a fella named Wes wrote in. That's the second time I've used fella on this episode. I don't know why that's my word today, but Wes wrote in that he's a fireman. And you may remember several episodes back when I was asking, why are they washing the ladders? Well, he says that they get a lot of gunk and a lot of just, air, road dust and buildup and stuff. And the ladders don't slide as good if they got a bunch of gunk and goo and debris and whatnot in those crevices. You think of it like how a door would squeak, and you might put WD-40 on a door, or your engine. You lubricate it, you oil it. So they wash the ladders to get that grime off so that they extend properly.
Well, I'm glad we are revisiting a topic from 15 episodes ago,
I just felt
maybe
like
even more.
just thought it needed to be said.
Fair enough.
So, what do you want to start with? Niagara Falls?
I don't know. Being asked how I'm doing, I asked how you're doing. It'd be nice to
Oh yeah.
be
Well, how
asked
are you?
how I'm doing.
How are you
It
doing?
ain't been it ain't been that great of a day, to be honest. It ain't been that great of a day.
Well, what now?
Just been busy. Just been busy. Ran all over the place. Had to go interview Joey Chestnut. I don't know if you saw those pictures on the internet or saw my video there, but I went and talked to Joey Jaws.
Was he in studio?
No, he was at a local market doing a meet and greet, and we had to go meet him and
Market.
talk about his events.
That's where the meat is. So, so you went to him?
Yes.
So you met him?
Yeah.
Did he try to eat you?
He was sizing me up. The woman that was working at the market came out and said, "Which one of you guys are the professional hot dog guy?" And she looked at me.
Yeah.
And I said, "Did you look at me because I'm the chunky one here?" And she just kind of laughed and said, "Well, I know it ain't him," and pointed at somebody that she knew. She's like, "I know it ain't him."
So what was that like? Was it cool to meet him?
You know me. You know me.
Schmoozing him up.
No, I just mean I thought it was awkward. I mean, I knew he didn't want to be there. I had to go out there and ask him questions. "Oh, what are your favorite foods, Joey?"
Is that what you went with?
That's what we decided on. Top 5 foods. Asked, he was doing an event. Asked him a little bit about the events, when he knew he was a special eater. Tried to ask him his 5 favorite athletes, since we had a joke that he's one of the greatest athletes of our generation. And sadly, my guy could only even name 3 athletes before he seemed like he was really drawing a blank. So I cut that one short.
Okay.
I felt bad. I was just awkward standing there. He said Larry Bird because he liked his aggression. Shaq because he's a nice guy. And then he's like, who else are athletes? Oh yeah, Tom Brady. And then I tried to stall for him because I could tell that he was running out of athletes. So I'm like, yeah, champion, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, and just longevity. I appreciate longevity. And then he just kind of stopped, looked at me, and was like, and I was like, okay, yeah, we could stop there. You're clearly not a sports guy.
Shocking that a guy who eats hot dogs for a living wouldn't be the brightest fellow. That's the third fella. So you asked him, what did you ask him? What are your favorite foods, but not competitively? You're just like, hey, do you just
favorite foods? Yeah, favorite foods.
Yeah. And what did he say?
Pizza, hot dogs,
really?
Tacos.
He likes hot dogs?
Yeah, tacos. There was one more, and then prime rib were his 5 favorite foods.
See, I
got a "oh yeah" out of me when he said prime rib.
I would have guessed he didn't like hot dogs because that's kind of like taking your work home with you. It's like that's the
interview. That's the interview I wanted to have with him. I wanted to have that type of interview with him because I kind of started what is your relationship like with food?
Yeah,
as a professional eater.
Great question.
Because to me, if somebody asked me that, how do you feel about sports? I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of answering these same questions about sports. I'm tired.
You get burned out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired when people come up to me at the bar when I'm trying to drink and asking me about sports. I just want to talk about movies sometimes. I want to talk about dating. I want to talk about this and that. I'm tired of answering questions about sports.
Talk about mine. I want to talk about number one.
How do you fuck that song up?
Me want to talk about. I want to talk about number
one.
Oh my!
You already fucked it up. You already fucked it up.
No, I did it right. What are you talking about?
No, you said I want to talk about me. I want to talk about my. Is what you said.
Want to talk about me? Well, it still fits the. I mean, it's a weird reference to carry on with what you were saying about Joey Chestnut. I want to hear more about this.
Yeah, I was hoping he would be like, yeah, man, I really just want to talk about other stuff. But he was like, no, man, I love food. I love talking food. Me eat a lot of food. And I was like, all right, well, that's fine. I was like, so when did you realize you were a special eater? When did you realize you could be a professional? And he gave me some answer there. And then I tried to get him a promo on Kane, Mayor Jacobs, because he's in the event tomorrow. And I got to be honest. I got to be honest. I don't feel like Joey Chestnut knows who the fuck Glenn Jacobs is, but so yeah, it's just kind of awkward. He's a super nice guy, though. I mean, or at least he came across as a nice guy. He's good with the media, and he's good with like fans. People are there lining up, getting ready to take pictures with him and shit. So like,
Yeah,
I got no problems with Joey Chestnut. He seems like a cool dude. Not an asshole, at least. Doesn't seem like an asshole.
yeah. So you didn't really get too deep into the layers, though. You would say
it was like a little 2-minute video, 3-minute video to try to promote the event, and maybe I had 30 minutes with him. We could really peel back and get to know him, like what makes him tick. But we didn't really have time. It wasn't really the setting for that.
Did you ask him if he thought that he could achieve his fame in any other country? Like, or is it because it feels like he is the ultimate American? Like that's the ultimate. Being able to eat a lot of food around the 4th of July is just an American thing. Like, could he, if he was raised in India, for example, would he have ever become famous? That's. I wonder about that.
You have to worry about some of these places. You might not have food at your disposal to eat a lot, because that's something he talked about when he realized he was special. He's like, when I was 12, I used to basically wipe out the fucking dinner before Dad got home from work. Oh, Ma was mad. He was like, Ma was mad. I was always just eating. And like, I realized that I had a special stomach in terms of just being able to keep eating, and talked about how he used to get in trouble about it as a boy.
So would you ask it? So does he consider himself to be talented, or does he think he's just genetically blessed?
I don't know. I would say he probably would say a little bit of both, because he did talk about his having to become in tune with his body and like having to train and like do certain things. So I would say he's probably feels like he's a little bit of both, talented and genetically skilled. Kind of like how any athlete is. I mean, you can't take any person and make them a professional athlete just through hard work and talent. You got to have a little bit of genetic blessing, I think, in any sport, really.
Did you ask him if he's a Nathan's man or like a Hebrew national?
Bob tried to ask him if he was a White Castle or Crystal's guy, but
he probably doesn't know what Crystal is.
No, he's won Crystal competitions, but he's from up north, so he's grew up with White Castle. But he didn't really want to answer that one. It seemed like he was kind of stumbling around because he didn't want to say the wrong thing and lose a sponsor or something. So he just kind of, I like both. They're both yummy.
I just assume a guy like that prefers probably an all beef hot dog. Like, I doubt he's fucking with pork, like these, the mechanically separated pork hot dogs. He seems like 100% beef, like legitimate hot dog eater.
I'm trying to think whether or not Joey Chestnut is the most famous person I've ever met now.
Well, who else have you met? That'd be a good place to start there.
I don't really remember meeting any other famous people. Like, I shared an elevator with Rachel Nichols and Reggie Miller.
Yeah, you met Dick Vitale in the urinal.
I met Dick. No, not the urinal, buddy. I met Dick Vitale coming out of the shitter, not the urinal. Yeah. Is Dick Vitale more famous than Joey Chestnut?
Yeah, yes, I think so. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's close. It's close.
I also don't know if I would consider what happened with me and Dick Vitale meeting Dick Vitale. We just kind of walked past each other, and he kind of gave me a disheveled grunt as he was like wiping sweat off his face. It wasn't like a, hey man, how you doing? Like, here, and have a conversation. So like me and Joey, like, I don't know if I ever met him again, if he would remember me or whatever, but like we got a picture of us shaking hands and, standing there together and all that. Yeah.
I bet he thought you were a hot dog. Probably looked at you. He's like, hey, I saw you on top of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Aren't you the guy they use on top of that?
Good one. Yeah. I don't know any other famous people I've really met. I know there have to be more than fucking Dick Vitale and Reggie Miller and Joey Chestnut. I think it's just usually I don't bother people and I don't take. Maybe I should take pictures to remember meeting these people, because now that I'm actually going through the list, I mean, Mick Foley. I guess I met Mick Foley and Kane at an event.
They put their pants on just like we do, They're just the same as us. I met Kane.
I met Steve McNair, I guess.
I interviewed Kane on the radio one time. He did not want to do it, but we did it anyway.
He had fun with me. He was nice whenever I interviewed him. He was pretty nice.
Well, I just spotted him in the hallway and had him come in. It wasn't scheduled. I just pulled him in.
Nice. Power move.
Tim Burchett. Interviewed
I'm
him
interested I'm interested in celebrity encounters from our audience. I want that to be what people comment in the comments.
I wish I
Tell
had
us.
met more.
Well, everyone does, right? Everyone wants to meet the celebrities.
I don't really want to meet most celebrities. I got like 3 to 5 that I'd really like to just kind of hang out with, you know. But I don't want to meet celebrities like big time, like Hollywood. Like I have no interest in talking to actors. I would only want to meet probably musicians and comedians. Like I don't think I'd care at all to meet like Matt Damon. Like that would do nothing for me, honestly.
I'd like to meet Ben. I would like to meet Ben Affleck.
He seems like an ass. I think he'd be a total asshole.
Yeah, I know, but I would like to talk to him. I would like to talk to him about being a total asshole.
What's that shirt you got on? Is that Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes.
And Stone Cold?
No, it's not fucking Dusty
Well, I
Rhodes.
can't barely see it.
Okay, who is it?
It's Stone Cold, and with the microphone, that's I don't know who that is. Is that just an ring announcer man?
Yeah, I mean he was a ring announcer at this time, but
is that Ted DiBiase?
No, Kevin Hayes. Yeah,
nobody knows who that is.
Yeah, they do. He's pretty famous.
I'm putting another Zen in.
A member of the Freebirds, one of the best wrestling writers of all time.
It's a great song.
Gets credit actually for inventing the Stone Cold Stunner. He's the one that gave Stone Cold the Stone Cold Stunner.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they cut that famous King of the Ring promo when Austin 316 was born.
1995. I remember that well. I just put
95.
I put another Zen in, and now I have 2 in, and we call that double Zenitration. Let's talk about Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Nature's power and majesty are represented best at Niagara Falls. The thunderous roar of crashing water first began 12,000 years ago after glaciers melted from the last ice age. Do you know that?
All right, let's talk NCAA football. Did you see the trailer for the new game?
I had something I wanted to do there. NCAA football. I have not watched the new trailer, but I had all my friends have been talking about it, and I'm starting to get that feeling of like, what do they call that? Not FOMO, but jealousy, I guess maybe would be the feeling, because I don't have a console to play. So I'm going to have to spend a lot of money that I don't have at some point to get a new console. I got to get a fucking PS5 to play this game. What is that, like $500?
You could move back to Knoxville. We're going to have a PS5 in the fan run lobby. We're going to have a lot of games and a lot of content and a lot of streaming. Maybe this is your ultimate destiny. You could become a football streamer on our Twitch and be the big dog in the yard at the radio station. Dog in the yard.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and tell you, I will be the big dog in the yard. And it did not go unnoticed, by the way, your shit talk from a couple of mornings ago. Just because you're on at 7:30 in the morning doesn't mean you can talk shit about me and get away with it. I hear the things you say, and I know what you said about my NCAA playing abilities. I know all about it, buddy. Buster, old pal.
Are we acting like it's a secret? Like I wouldn't tell you this to your big fat dumb face, because I'll tell it to your big dumb fat face.
You didn't mention it yet, egghead. I hadn't heard you mention it.
It wasn't a big topic to me. It was just something I said in passing that everyone knows.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen.
I feel like moving forward, I'm the big dog at the station. The big dog's going to get out of retirement. The big dog who beat you last time we played, I'm going to run the yard over there. I'm going to pick up the sticks and beat your ass with them.
If you're not careful, you're going to fuck around and turn me back into the old me. As Dr. Dre once said so eloquently, you're going to turn me back into the old me, and you're going to make me come out of retirement and come over there and beat your ass figuratively with the sticks is what I mean. You're going to get these thumbs. If that's what you want to get these thumbs, I'll bring them to you.
Sadly, big fat boy in Texas don't have a system. He's got no internet and he can't play.
I have internet.
Not good enough to stream online.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll just have to come back over there for the fall, Maybe that's what I'll do.
Well, by the fall, I already have 100 games, and I'll be tired of the game by the fall.
It's going to be a real shame when you get 50 games in a practice and I still beat you.
That's what happened to you, except yours is more like 5,000 games.
No, you can say it.
I beat you in the third time I ever played, or the third time I'd played in a decade. Fourth time, maybe.
You didn't beat me. No matter how many times you tell yourself, how many times you say it, just because you say it so strongly and confidently and full of, you're very good at convincing people of things. You're a real persuasionist. You're very good at talking. I'll give you that. But just because you keep saying it and you sound so good saying it does not make it true. It did not happen. You've never beaten me.
If we agreed to play a half, and you were losing at halftime, you lost.
That's not what happened.
I know you turned the system off because you threw an interception.
It's not what happened.
You threw an interception with 30 seconds left and trailing, and you turned the system off.
The show ended. We had to get out of
there.
I
had the ball with 30 seconds left.
The show ended. We have never played a game to completion. The only game we played to completion, I won by what, 14, 20 points? I mean,
depends whether or not you won. When you spot somebody points and you don't win by that amount, you actually lost. So I was playing to cover the spread. I covered the spread. Yes, it is. I mean, not in real sports, but whenever you spot somebody points. Yes, that is exactly how that works.
What kind of logic, what kind of fucked up criminal logic are you using right now? That doesn't mean you beat me. You didn't beat me.
I'm not counting that one as a win. I'm saying technically. I'm saying you.
Okay, but the one game we played
I'm counting the last one as a win. I'm counting last one as a win. But the one game we played to completion,
we were in the second.
You spotted me 28 points. And I covered the spread. I accomplished my goal. My goal was to not lose by more than 28. I was Lane Kiffin.
It was a 20-point deficit
in the swamp in 2010.
Okay, that's fine. But still yet, I mean, if we're just talking about who's going to be the champion at the station, I mean, it's pretty clear, isn't it? It's pretty clear.
No, because the second time we played, when I actually got somebody, I think the first time
second quarter because the show ended. So we quit in the second quarter.
You quit in the second quarter because you threw an interception. I had the ball. I was about to score to go up 2 scores and beat you by 2 scores in one half.
2 points.
While I got the ball back at coming out of half. Like it was about to be a 3-possession game is what it was about to be.
2 points. 2 points.
No, I was up 5.
And it was a radio. It was a radio setting.
I was up
5, whatever. It was a radio setting.
Two
We're
sounds
doing
like
a
you
show.
kick a field goal and win. Also, now you're saying you threw the game for content. Is that what you're saying?
Now, see, this is what you do. This is how you talk. You spin me around. You make it. You're all confident. You're convincing. This is what you're doing. But I want our audience to know the truth is, no matter how much better of a talker, of an arguer you are, or whatever, you didn't win. The truth is, you've never beat me. In the only game we've ever played to completion, I won by 20, and we'll do it again. Buster.
No, we won't, because I'm not playing online against somebody living in a shipping container. I have higher standards than that.
I'll come to Tennessee and beat you.
SM Athletics, where the Fan Run studios are, only open to Fan Run employees, so you're not invited. You can't play on our system. Sorry.
I guess I'll have to come back and get hired back. I guess I'll just have to come do a show or something.
That would be funny if you did a whole mission just to get back on the station so you could play football with us this summer.
I mean, it'd be a pretty good perk, wouldn't it?
It's going to be a lot of fun. I got a feeling poor Frank's in trouble because I'm going to be at the studio from like 6:45 a.m. to about 9 o'clock every night gaming.
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Just dudes being dudes, just hanging around.
Producing
that sounds like a lot of fun.
But I will say, again, if we agree to play a half and you were losing at half, I did beat you in a game.
Yeah, you can say whatever.
It was a short game.
It
was a game we agreed upon. We have the same rules.
Yeah, you can say what you want. Whatever we'll do is what we'll do is we'll stream. I'll come back and we'll play a game and we'll stream it for people to watch on something. Isn't there something called Twitch or something like that?
Yeah. This podcast airs on Twitch as well. Sure, but how about we just let's come to one understanding. The last game we played, you never had a lead against me.
Yeah, that's true. We were in the second quarter. You did have the lead.
End of the second quarter. The second quarter was over.
The truth. I'm telling the
Okay.
truth. You did have the lead.
I had the lead the entire time.
Yeah.
And
Are you familiar with 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters?
Well, hold on.
You used to, on record. You used to do a radio show called 4 Quarters, yet you can't seem to understand the concept.
Well, there's not 4 quarters when you agree just play a half, by the way. But either way, I just want to get on record. We played
Why did you call your radio show 1.5 quarters then?
Well, some
days
represent
a full game.
Some days I didn't do a full 3 hours. Sometimes it's like, hey guys, I can only do an hour today, and I got to go home. So like,
hey, this
kind of
is John Reed and Kyle Tasman here at 1.5 quarters. How stupid does that sound? Because it's not a full game.
We got to like 30. I think there was 37 seconds left in the half. 37 seconds in the half, I believe, is how much is left. I had the ball and the lead. You never had a lead. And yes, I guess we didn't completely finish the half, which was the game, because you turned it off. But I had
the show was ending.
We had 3 minutes in between the show.
I had Bear beating down the door.
No, you didn't.
Russell's like, "What's going on in there?"
You rage quit.
I did not rage quit.
The last time we played, I made you rage quit. You threw an interception. You lost. Okay. You turned it off.
Can I explain this in terms that maybe you'll understand? You know why I threw that interception? Because I knew the show was.
Because I knew the play. I knew the play that you could only run, and I finally learned how to use or pick. I got my skills back.
Because I knew the show was ending, and we had to get out of there. So it's called a desperation heave. You've heard of teams trying to score right before halftime to go. It's a desperation heave because I know that we're not going to get to the half anyway. I know I'm running out of time. The show was ending. How can you not understand this?
Because you had 3 minutes to do 37 seconds.
You wanted me to sit there until 3 o'clock. We had to get out of there.
No, we didn't have to do anything.
Yes, we did. Well, I mean, we were going to upset the other show.
Well, that's fun. But you rage quit, and it's fine. There's no shame in that. Just I'll respect you more as a competitor, and I'll give you a shot at the title if you just say, you know what, you're right. It was a good game by you. Good job, Jon. Your offense was it was really humming. I couldn't stop you. I didn't stop you one time. Not one single time. I don't think I even had to go to a 4th down in the game. You didn't stop me one single time. I picked you apart completely. If you would say that, I would respect you so much more as a competitor.
Here's what I'll say. If we get this going again when the new system comes out and everybody gets their, practice games in or whatever, and we get going, we'll play us a little tournament at the station.
I don't know why you keep saying we. You're not a part of the station. You're not a part of the crew. There's no we here.
I'll come back to beat your ass, and I'll be a number 1 seed, and I'll cruise to the championship. And if you manage to beat the higher seeds ahead of you on the other side of the bracket and get there, then I'll see you in the championship. I'll see you in the ship.
We he keeps saying. He's speaking French ship over here.
We. Doug Gottlieb. How about that? Is it okay if I transition, or you want to continue to lie?
Everything I've said's been truthful.
Doug Gottlieb going to coach Green Bay. Can you believe that? What a crazy story that's been. And, how are him and Jordan Love going to get along is what I'm wondering. They're going to send me back from Austin.
I'm always surprised you didn't pick up your coffee cup to take a little swig out of. Usually when you make a joke, you try to take a little sip of your mug.
It's empty. It's empty.
I think it was empty earlier when you tried to take a sip out of it just to show you had a Niagara Falls mug, to be honest.
I really did want to talk about Niagara Falls, but that's for another day maybe. So Doug Gottlieb is going to be a coach. I mean, that's crazy. Have you guys talked about that this week?
Well, they're also going to let him keep doing his radio show.
Unbelievable.
He's going to do a national radio show while also coaching a basketball team.
I don't understand how this move gets made. Like, who is the athletic director? The athletic director should be fired immediately with cause.
Well, I think the way it actually works out is like he interviewed for that job last year, and he finished runner-up. He finished second. They hired a coach that was really good that just left for another job. So, like, they can't really hire anybody in the middle of May. So they're like, fuck it. I guess call the guy that finished second last year. We don't have to interview him. We know we liked him last year, so just give him a shout, and that's kind of what happened.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes you don't know when you're getting ready to hire a coach, you don't know if they're able to be a coach. You don't know for sure, like if they have all their paperwork done. Like, sometimes you might want to hire a guy who's not a U.S. citizen. And even though he would be a good coach, he doesn't have his visa. Luckily, Doug Gottlieb has his visa. And so you'll be able to hire him immediately.
Got American Express as well.
He's
American.
He's a real MasterCard of basketball, this guy. Harrison Butker went on a bit of a rant a couple days ago saying women should be in the kitchen. Do you agree with him?
I like when women cook.
I'm paraphrasing, but, that's kind of the gist of it.
I mean, I don't have kids. I'm not married. I don't think I'm in a profession where I'll ever really be able to support a wife and kids without them working, because I've chosen the artiste route versus
without all of them working. The kids got to work too.
The kids are going to have to work too. They turn 14. You better go say my pleasure at Chick-fil-A.
We need that money to pay the mortgage.
But no, I don't know. Like, my mom's worked. The women in my life have always kind of worked. The women I date have always been pretty successful. I don't know. So I've always just been cool with that. But also, I don't think I would be. There was one girl I talked to that said she wasn't going to work.
Yeah, and you said, "See ya."
I did. Yeah, she told me on the first or second date, her goal was not to work. She had a kid already, and she was talking about how she, her goal was to find somebody to support. And I said, "Well, that ain't going to be me, baby."
She's probably shaking that ass on OnlyFans now.
That ain't going to be me.
I've never liked those type of women. The type of women that they do that whole I'm a queen thing. I do not like those type of women whatsoever. They think they should be treated like queens. You know the kind of girl I'm talking about. Usually she got a big old ass. Usually she ends up on OnlyFans. Okay, well, moving along. NBC Peacock will be launching a new series about gay and transgender animals. Any interest in this?
Say that one more time.
NBC Peacock will be launching a new series about gay and transgender animals.
The frogs?
Nope, they're not going to talk about that. It's other animals in the kingdom. It's a real thing, Peacock.
Okay, so I understand how they could figure out which animals are gay, but how do they know which animals are transgender?
That was my biggest question, too. I'm not sure. I feel like gay is pretty natural in the animal world. I don't know about the transgender thing. I do wonder if the non-binary animals are going to be represented. Are we going to talk to them? Are they going to let us know their animal pronouns? Pronouns?
Protowns?
Protowns.
You mean like Nashville and Boston and Los Angeles?
Yeah, protowns. These are protowns.
Chicago.
My favorite comment under the post, because that's what I was interested in reading, just the comments on this. One guy just said, "Stop with the madness."
He's fed up.
Enough of this shit. That was my favorite. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think the gay stuff is probably pretty natural. I don't know about the rest of the stuff, because some of this stuff, it's like we just kind of made up as a country, like the pronoun stuff. I doubt the animals are dabbling in that as much as just regular gayness.
Right.
So I don't know about that. Some things we just make up in America, like pronouns. It's like some of these
everything. I think we make everything up at some point.
Yeah, but I mean, some things are specifically
cars, microphones, iced coffee, hand jobs,
Niagara Falls mugs.
No, I think mugs. Yes, Niagara Falls. I think was just naturally made, but
so was hand jobs.
No, it wasn't.
You don't think hand jobs were natural? You don't think Adam and Eve?
How could a hand job be natural? Think about that. How could a hand job of someone else, man or woman, touching somebody else's penis and jerking them to completion? How was that not invented? Somebody somewhere said, "Hey, you know what'll feel good if I do that for you."
Yeah, but I feel like that's just sexually in us. I think it's
You think
natural.
hand jobs are sexually natural? I don't think that. I don't think that.
I think from birth, like it's just it's because they say number one is survival and number two is reproduction. So like
Yeah.
just sexual
Do you
urges
think you
are.
get pregnant from hand job? Do you think you get pregnant from hand jobs?
I think I could get pregnant from a hand job. I can't. No.
Or do you think you get? Do you think women get pregnant from hand jobs? Because if you're talking about reproducing, like there's no reproduction in hand jobs.
Yeah, but it
It's
goes
safe.
along. It goes along with it.
It's like second base.
Yeah, but it goes along with the idea of coming. Not to be too graphic, but the idea of coming in general is
Well,
that's a natural.
Please notice, everyone. Please note that when I said things that we made up, coming was not one of them. It was the act of hand jobs.
Yeah, but a hand job leads to coming. That's the whole point, is to biologically come.
But that's for reproduction. There's no reproducing.
I just think it's pretty natural. I mean, it's as natural as the Niagara Falls
weird.
mug.
I think it's weird to be like, hey, let me touch that for you. Hey, let me put my mouth on that for you. Like, no.
You don't think you would, as a caveman, you don't think you would have been like, hey, let me feel that thing.
That?
Let me get a hand on that.
Oh,
Adam and Eve. You don't think Eve was given hand jobs from time to time?
No, I think he mounted her. I think you could look and figure out what to do from what the animals are doing around you. You could figure it out, but like I don't think the foreplay and everything involved with it. I think that's something we made up.
I think Adam and Eve. I think there were thumbs and butts, thumbs and holes. We have opposable thumbs. It's part of our genetic, and that's what makes us unique. It's just us and gorillas basically. We have these opposable thumbs, and that's why we can do things like that. I think a cloudy day, Eve wasn't really in the mood, but Adam needed to get his rocks off. I imagine Eve gave a hand job or two.
Okay.
There was a lot of temptation involved between those two. But I was just saying, I think a lot of these things are made up in America. Like, you ever look at these like made up diseases? That's one that's always interesting to me.
I got a gluten allergy.
Yeah, you ever notice they don't have that shit in Zimbabwe? Like nobody in Zimbabwe is like, oh, my gluten. That's some shit we made up here because we can afford to.
Well, it doesn't mean that people in Zimbabwe, although I think it's probably evolution. It's probably like something that evolves in these countries, and I don't want to single out Zimbabwe. They might have money in Zimbabwe. I don't really know.
Know what I mean. Let's say Uganda.
Yeah, it just feels a little be
Uganda.
careful territory. I don't know what their situation is, but
Uganda.
in any third world country, like, yeah, they can afford to be pick and choosy when it comes to food. But
yeah,
also,
we made it up.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's just a luxury. Yeah, I mean, like I think
can't
it's just
have
something.
that. I'm vegan. Imagine a Ugandan saying, "No, I can't have that. I'm vegan. I don't want your meat on a stick."
I think there are plenty of poor people here in America that have to make that decision, or that don't really get that luxury either. They're just like, yeah, I guess I'll take another Big Mac.
Right.
Although you can't really afford that anymore. I can't really afford anything, so I'll just eat what I can get my hands on.
Right, but doesn't that indicate that it's all bullshit?
No, it might just be you power through it in your stomach. Maybe your stomach maybe you are allergic to gluten and you shit your brains out, but you don't have the resources or the luxury to be like, hey, I'm going to eat what my body can handle. It's just like I'm just going to eat whatever I can eat.
Yeah, there's just certain things here. It's even if it's not food, it's like a made up disease. It's like
everything in life's about options, man. Everything in life is about options. Would you be more of a sexual deviant if you could find some girls that would be into it? Yeah, probably. But you don't want to scare the few girls off that will have sex with you, so you stay pretty tame and reserved.
Well, this sounds
same concept.
This sounds personal.
Well, maybe it
is.
Something
maybe you've experienced?
No, I was more so talking about you.
Oh. Well, they'll do whatever you want for a price.
Well, touche.
Would you tip a flight attendant?
Never have.
This is a dilemma I ran into.
I got to say, if I was on like a first-class flight and I was really drinking a lot of drinks, I probably would offer it. I think they would probably refuse to take it, but maybe I would offer. I don't know.
All right. Take it easy, Jack Harlow. I ran into this on the plane coming back the other day. I ordered a snack and a beverage. And
they made you pay for it, right? You had to swipe your card?
Yeah, and there was an option for a tip. And I was just like, no.
For
I'm
getting
not.
extra stuff, maybe you should do it. I mean, I don't think it's weird that you don't, but I'm saying I probably would feel obligated to do it. The craziest tip I've ever been requested for, I told you, is at when I went to the bodega in Detroit, and I just walked into the market, got everything myself, walked up to the cash register, and they checked me out and wanted a 20 to 30% tip for doing that.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, 0.
Not happening. It's crazy. Where do you stand on littering?
Firmly against it.
Ever done
Firmly
it?
against it. Have I ever littered? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have, but like, I don't think I've consciously done it probably in 15 years at least.
You never
Maybe even
just,
longer than that.
you never just threw a Wendy's bag out of the car?
Not in the last 15 years. When I was in high school, yes, but not in like, let's just call it since I've been 21.
Okay.
But no, like, yeah, in high school, yeah, sure, riding down the back roads, sure, I'd throw some, especially like in the work truck doing something. But once I got like 22, 23, 24, I kind of quit doing that and just kind of, I guess it's the liberal indoctrination, got to college and like, hey, save the earth. And I'm like, okay, I got you. Cool. I'll do that.
Yeah. Hey, educated people don't litter.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if something falls out of my car, I'll usually try to even like pick it up and like throw it away. Like if a bottle falls out, like I'll reach under the car and grab it. I don't usually just leave it.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Come on.
Now I'm not going to get like on my hands and knees and do it. If it rolls under the car, like, and I can't like just easily bend over and pick it up, I'm letting it go there. But like,
Yeah, that's just leakage.
yeah, if it's just a convenient fix, I'll do that.
What's
Save
the
the earth, bro.
worst? What's the worst thing you've ever thrown out of a car?
Probably a full ass trash bag. Probably. I'm sure I've done that at some point.
That's really littering.
Yeah, I'm sure I've done that at some point.
See, I'd be nervous to do that because I might have mail or something in there with my name on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've actually thrown out a full ass trash bag, but I mean, I'm sure it's something like that, or try to break a bottle on a stop sign or something like that.
I'd have anxiety over that. I'd be afraid the city's going to find it and call me like 3 weeks later and be like, "Hey, we found your trash bag you threw out the window." Like, oh, that wasn't me. They're like, "Yeah, it was you. We have your address and your name, and we're coming to get you, asshole."
Somebody's stealing my mail again? Oh no.
Yeah, that one. I don't do that, but every now and then you got to just get rid of some shit, though. I can see where you do that. I got a free ice cream a couple days ago.
Nice. You take advantage of it?
Yeah, I went in the ice cream place and I did one of these Uber delivery orders, which I normally don't fuck with those, but I decided to just do one. Just, I don't know, it was good fare on it. And so I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I went in there and I was like, hey, while I'm in here, I think I'm going to order something for myself. So I ordered some Oreo ice cream for myself. And I told him I got a delivery order to pick up too. And she's like, all right, here's your Uber order. And she's like, don't worry about yours. I was like, what do you mean? She said, oh, you're good. You're good. I said, wow, thank you. I'll come back and visit here sometime.
Do you think she was flirting with you?
I don't think she was old enough to flirt with me.
Okay. Never mind. Never mind.
You know how these ice cream places are. It's usually like teenagers working there in the summer.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Let's move on. Be careful.
I mean, I don't know what she was thinking, but on that topic though, of food, I think I've gained weight.
I've gained weight too. I'm trying to lose it though. It's just not enough hours in the fucking day. What I've realized is that I should have taken advantage more of not working a lot, because now that I'm actually working and having responsibilities, I don't have time to get to the gym. I really fucked up, and it's not even like I can wake up early enough to go, because I'd have to wake up at like 4:45, and like this is not reasonable. I don't have enough hours in my fucking day unless I become a napper. Unless I start napping from like 6 to 8 p.m. and then just like doing shit from like 8 to midnight and sleeping from like midnight to 4:30. I don't have enough hours.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to get so fat. Me and you're going to be twins before too long.
Yeah. Once you go down the napping road, like then you're a napper for your whole life,
Yeah, I'm fucked.
Yeah. I was going to talk about my weight gain, but it's
Go
good
for
to
it.
hear about yours too. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have anything else. What else do we have here? You have any other topics?
No, I told you I had to do a short one today. Sorry, I got to wrap it up.
Oh, are
Sorry for the
you want to
abrupt
leave?
decision. Yeah, we gotta adjust our recording schedule, I think. But
Yeah, I
we
never
missed
really know.
yesterday. Yeah, no, I know. I got to figure it out on my end. But I love you. I hope you have a good weekend. I'll talk to you Monday, I guess. Monday sound good? You love me too. You can't say it, but that's fine.